Well, pleasure to meet you guys. My name's ChaosDrifter. I'm going to be playing KOTOR 180%. This is a incredibly broken, busted game that I've had a whole lot of fun over the last year learning. And then I'm joined by 30 Cents, who is the current world record holder.
Hi.
And Alakay, who helped run the game a couple years ago with Glasnock and really set a good foothold.
I didn't do a ton, honestly. I ran it at RPG Limit Break, kind of got some eyes on it, and I think some of the stuff I did for Korriban is still in the route, but a lot of things have changed.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Well, I'm ready to go whenever time's ready. Yep. All right. So we're gonna start on 3, or we're gonna do 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Go.
One more time.
Look, dude.
So we start out by doing a buffer to skip over the opening cutscene where Trash shows up and is like, hey, we're getting attacked. And we're going to go ahead and do a quick equip of this short sword and talk to Trash.
Okay. Because of the
And it's important that you get through the door here because the door is going to be shut now. So that's one of the little quirks when you do a lot of these skips. Things end up being weird, and there's a lot of little tech that gets into getting them to work right. The buffers function on one of two things. They either delay time, so a kind of a timer, time-based thing that the game uses to decide whether it should run a script times out, and the thing that is supposed to happen doesn't happen, or you can use it to get past a location, so skip a location-based trigger. And which is which doesn't functionally matter a ton during the course of the run. Just know that those are the two things that are happening.
Now, here what I've done is what's called an AMG. You're going to see this a lot over the run. Essentially, what happens is that whenever we're in a loading zone or a saving zone, we can Alt F4 during it. And whenever we leave that, that was a good fight. Whenever we leave that, then we can actually basically enter combat for a frame or two, allowing us to act during cutscenes. So all of that stuff that happened before there was actually supposed to be a scripted cutscene, essentially. And we are able to act during it, moving around and get into a specific position, so we spend basically no time. It's actually not a bad time right now. Oh.
Yeah, so what AMG stands for is Anywhere Menu Glitch. You essentially quick save, and then during that quick save loading screen, you hit Alt F4, and then you bring up that menu anywhere into a cutscene, and you can move around during specific events like that. That's just one example out of many you'll see in this run.
Also, shoutouts to Sheet Metal. He actually did a lot of optimization on the Spire, and is a pretty major reason why I've really worked hard to get the times I can on the Spire. It's a really, really tough split for us, just because there's a lot of RNG involved, and you can mess up in just a whole bunch of places. So now,
yeah, like he mentioned those NPCs fighting going well. That is because that fight is random.
So now we're going to start on, we're going to start Taris here. We're immediately going to skip over this whole cutscene here, and we're going to skip that fight. And we're going to just buy some grenades and some drugs from this guy that we just met. Seems like a nice guy, Lorene. This is actually a really good time.
Yeah, stims up your stats for a shorter period of time. The difference is particularly useful in the early game, and it's useful throughout the game, but better stims are available later on. And grenades are also very useful for a couple specific instances.
Now, what I just did there is I set up a save. It's called Fast Lane, named after Lane DeBello, as much as he wished that it wasn't. And this is going to be another utilization of AMG for us. It's going to allow us to do... Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry, this is a really complex part there.
So, the manual save is basically for a glitch later on named Fastlane. It's shortened for a glitch called Return to Ebonhawk Anywhere menu glitch. You're not going to see this until about like maybe 15 minutes into the run, but we will explain it more in depth there. And what Chaos did there was he did a glitch called Gather Your Party Warp. It's we call it a GIP warp for short. We get a menu glitch, and then when we try to enter a loading zone, and then cancel out that menu glitch, our party members can teleport to the nearest loading zone, and when you try to enter a loading zone with another party member,
you're about to see it again here.
Yeah, you're about to see it again.
What? Ready?
That was actually a 5-minute time. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I might, every once in a while, refer to things in a slightly different timing than you guys are seeing, because we timed this game in game time instead of RTA due to some technical differences for some people who have some issues with their computers getting it to run properly.
Ready?
Oops, come on.
So this is one of the tricks that has been in there for a while, and that's just getting past this little cutscene.
Ready?
So some of the things that have changed over time are very significant, but some of the other stuff is the same, and it's kind of a nice balance of some of the same techniques being used for different things, as well as
Some bad luck there.
Completely new weirdness that you're really going to start seeing later on, like the GYP and other stuff that Fastlane that you're seeing kind of set up and done is honestly pales in comparison to one of the older discoveries that you're going to see here relatively soon.
Yeah, there's a really major glitch coming up.
Ready?
Oh, Lord.
You may notice that he's already in the hidden back bay. Normally you're not supposed to be able to get here quite so quickly. Necessarily to the point where you'd kill him anyway, but this is...
Oh, no. This is some bad luck here. This is some really bad luck.
Oof.
Main character's dead.
Yeah. That's okay.
At least Karth still has Alacrity on, so you could control him. But yeah, as what Alec was saying earlier is, you're not supposed to get into this area this early. You're supposed to go into the Undercity, and then you're supposed to go through these sewers and try to steal a Swoop accelerator. And that takes like quite a while. It takes like about 4 or 5 minutes of the run just to get there and then run all the way back to the back base. So he's skipping a lot of stuff here.
And what he's doing right now is called a false level up. Essentially what happens is you go into a level up with different characters and you swap, like you open a thing and then you enter the menu to level up at the right time, and you can apply a level up to a different character than you're supposed to get it. And there are a whole bunch of shenanigans you can do, like changing the class a character is in and all sorts of things. the whole purpose of this one, besides getting a few nice abilities, is to get the security skill up to a point that you can open impossible locks. Now, in normal gameplay, there's no way you would ever be able to open a DC, or difficulty class 100 lock, this being based off an old D system, essentially. D20 type mechanics. So, getting up to a very high level of security is going to give him the ability to open these impossible doors. And so you can see he has 91 security there, 45 computer uses for some other stuff, and treat injury is going to make his med packs far more good than they normally would be.
No problem.
He also got a couple of other abilities along the way.
Got it.
So right now he's opening this impossible lock, and you saw it failed once. That can happen when in combat, but when you're out of combat, it is 100% because it is.
Oh no! This is really rough.
Karth, come on.
Yeah, this is really rough. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to run back in here because I don't want to do the flu again. Oh no no no! This is bad. Okay, all right. That was kind of lucky. I do not have any. This is not something that happens very often.
No problem. Got it.
All right.
What?
I can't believe I remember that was in there. Essentially, what's going on there is that, like, because I had just such bad luck on the fight with Ganon and Kara. Yeah, I get the
wrong game.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Do it all the time. But because I had such bad luck there, and I don't have any more stims, I think I could. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk going for it.
Anyway, he has.
Oof.
He needed to get to level 4, so part of the reason you do that fight there is to get to level 4, because, like I mentioned, you need a stat level up in order to do the false level up glitch and have things you get from it.
I'm gonna just do this.
Sure.
Can you please kill him?
So this door that Chaos is about to open is deemed an impossible lock. He's not supposed to get in there early, and we just skipped more stuff.
Got it.
Oh man.
Doing this skips running around through the Undercity and all that, and getting Zalbar and Mission in your party, so it skips a lot.
I'll be real. I don't know. I don't want to be, the generic streamer guy, but like for these speedruns. But that has never happened to me before, where I've had something go that bad for a run. Granted, I usually just reset if something happens like that. But so what we're doing here is we're supposed to do 2 swoop races. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to start a swoop race 3 times. And the game didn't really want, the game devs didn't want you to fail the run, fail it a bunch of times. And they essentially had a failsafe that if you just got a better time on your 4th attempt, that they would just give it to you. So we do this all, we pretend like we lose 4 times and then we start one, and now we only have to do 1 race instead of 2. It actually saves a good amount of time because these races take about 23 seconds or so. Probably 24 now for me.
And not only that, there's a scene in between the races.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, it's always 24 seconds for me, so maybe that's quite quite embarrassing, I must say.
Gotta work on that, 30.
Between the three
I
of us, I'm sure
know.
we can figure out some
That's
way to
the
get off this planet
1
before the
second
Sith
advantage
realize
you
we're here.
have over me.
I think we can talk about a lot more advantages, but... So, let's see here. So now we have Bastila, who is going to be our first Jedi, and we're going to use her for a lot of walking, because she can give us bursts of speed. Whoops.
Yes?
I'm here.
There we go. And so that's just way faster walking, especially because we lost our alacrity on the main character in Karth. And alacrities, while also giving you extra dexterity, they also...
Sure.
Oh, thank goodness. They also give you extra movement speed, which is fantastic.
Kavadum.
Yeah, it's a really good thing that we have Bastila here because he has force speed and everything, so faster movement.
What? Ready?
Yes?
Alright, I'm honestly a little concerned about this governor fight.
Governor fight is perhaps the hardest fight in the entire run, and hopefully we don't have to show you why he's really difficult, but this is essentially the final boss of the game.
Ooh. This might hit me with stuff.
I'm here.
And so Chaos also did another example of a Gift Orb. I didn't do that in my run, so he has an advantage over me there. But it saves about maybe like 5 or 6 seconds.
Come on, Bastila, you can do it.
Sure.
So close.
I'm here.
Alright.
Come on.
So yeah, there are a lot of random things that control you in that fight, and you can also get really lucky every now and then and stun the governor with a grenade at the start of the fight. And that typically makes it much easier, but it's always been one of the roughest fights in the entire run, if not the worst.
It's the worst. It's for sure the worst now.
I'm here.
So now, that was actually our first instance of doing a fast lane. So in the Sith base, we can't actually return to Ebon Hawk there. So that gives me an idea, by the way. I will have to check something out after this.
Yes?
I will have to test that out later. No, wait, it would be bad.
I saw you.
These things happen when you're trying to optimize a speed run.
I got distracted for a
do
second.
something.
I'm gonna have to actually go back to here.
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Because
misclicking that is bad
What can I do?
because
yeah,
if you-
we'll have to
if
run
you-
all the way to the other cantina.
yeah,
Ready?
it wastes so much time.
This is what I
doing
get for
that.
thinking during a run.
Ready?
What can I do?
Sure.
Okay, Karth, you'll be the one to go in.
Sure.
What can I do?
I saw you.
That's not possible, by the way, Lane, because I tried it before and he just ignores you. No matter how many times you talk to him.
So yeah, you were
So,
correct if you thought you saw them on the Sith ship.
Ebon Hawk.
That is an amusing temporary side effect before that, for kind of skipping a cutscene, actually. So now he interrupted things, and he's already at the Ebon Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to think, like, canonically, that he just is like, hey, here's the Ebon Hawk, you want to take it for a test ride? Sure! And Taris just happens to, you know, have things happen to it. Also, this is a pretty spoiler-free run. You don't really find out much of anything that happens, which is also fantastic. So anyone who hasn't played KOTOR 1 before, you're not going to get spoiled to the experience.
At least not totally, probably.
Yeah, you'll understand how the game kind of works. And
depends on how much we save.
Yeah.
So the reason, like, the main character was on that Sith ship is because the main character is hidden hidden somewhere on every map for a cutscene to trigger. So, that's the reason why the main character is on that Sith ship.
This morning.
And we skipped the entirety, almost, of Davik's base. Another thing to mention was Chaos did a glitch called a map cutscene skip, where if you click on the map icon at the top right and then you select Return to Ebonhawk, it'll skip that cutscene entirely.
Yeah,
which is really neat because you essentially skip like so many cutscenes by doing this.
Yeah, and that's a Glassnock special finding that. That's why they were able to get right to Dantooine after getting to the Ebonhawk, because otherwise there would be an escape sequence that is skipped because of this, and it's going to cause some shenanigans later on as well by using this as often as the speedrun does. So now he's a Jedi. He's of course getting force speed. He's getting drain life or destroy droid.
Destroy droid is what we're going for.
I think it's stun in the first year, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's disabled droid.
Yeah, you need to get one of those two powers for the end game. Speed is obvious because it makes you run faster, and in higher tiers gives you extra attacks. The other stuff is nominally less important, but still useful.
Right. So now we're a Jedi. We also, it might have been glossed over, but we were able to keep the Sith armor whenever we left Taris because I equipped it while in Davik's base. So that's going to be used for another glitch later on. Also, it's some pretty good armor, all things considered. I'll basically be using it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so the Sith armor gives like +6 or 7 dexterity. I don't exactly remember.
I think it's 7. It's like 7 armor and 7 dexterity. It's actually really good.
Well, it's really 2 armor and +8. It's a +8 max dexterity bonus.
Okay, that's what it is. I'm thinking of a different armor in KOTOR 2, I think.
Fair. Also, those buffers, those quick save buffers that Chaos was doing, there's another form of buffering in this game. That one was called a soft buffer. And the difference between a soft buffer and a hard buffer is a soft buffer is you skip a small cutscene with a force power instead of manually loading the game. And this is going to be used throughout the rest of the run.
So kind of just talk about what's going on in-game right now. We've become a Jedi, which normally people do in weeks, but we did in a matter of seconds. And we then proceeded to have to do a couple of other trials, learn what the Jedi code was, talk to a guy to figure out what our class is, and then we were sent to go talk to this lady in the garden. And so now we're going to be sent on our true mission, which is to go find the star maps. Whoops.
It is good.
So now they try to make us go with Bastila here, but I'm going to just say no thank you. And now we're back to in the garden here, or the grove is what it really is. And we're going to use these calf hounds in order to hop on over to the tomb.
Left path for life, by the way.
Yeah, there's a debate about which is actually faster. So I go right path, which is essentially what you saw. But you can also go a slightly different route here. I'm going to quick save just in case I crash here. There's a very tiny chance that you crash right there.
I've had this happen. It's annoying.
So now we're going to do actually another fast lane. So what we're supposed to do here is we're supposed to solve these two puzzles about like what kind of planets can be lived on and which ones can't. But instead we're just going to, you know, break through doors and head on through. And so now we just get right on in here, and we're going to do another fast lane. Use force speed again, and we're going to walk up to this, and as soon as we hit the cutscene for that, we already have the trigger happening in our quests that we've finished that. So now I can just go ahead and move on over and turn in the quest. And I'm setting up for another GIP here to save us a little bit more time.
Ah, you have returned.
That door clip that Chaos just did basically skips having to interact with two of these computers. Saves a bit of time. Saves like 10 or 15 seconds of in-game time. Pretty good time to save.
What can I do?
I would say more importantly, it saves having to risk being stunned while you do that, because
oh yeah,
there's a horror effect on the flamethrowers that the Guardian droids in those side rooms have, and that can be super annoying. So being able to skip that is obviously really nice.
So now we're going to head to Manaan, which is the water planet. They do a lot of really cool stuff on the planet. It's one of my favorites casually, honestly. But we're going to once again just skip over like all of it again, and we're going to do 2 map cutscene skips there, and that way we don't have to watch. We don't have to watch. I think it was like someone talking to Malik, and then we don't have to watch a sleepy time cutscene.
Yeah, it skips the cutscene of a bounty hunter named Calo Nord meeting with Malik.
That's right, you run glitchless every once in a while, so...
I haven't ran glitchless in months.
Yeah, well,
Not
I haven't seen these cutscenes in basically multiple years.
Obey the laws here on Manaan, human.
Shoutouts to Sheep again. That's Bob, by the way. He's a very precious droid on Manaan.
Bob.
You gotta do Bob strats, man. They're very important whenever you're not actually going for a world record or a PB.
Bob is cursed. So is playing as Mullet Man.
Mullet Man's fine.
Welcome to...
So now we're gonna talk to this guy, and he's gonna be like, hey, you can't use, you know, our submarine. And we're like, okay. And then we're gonna go and use a submarine. So we're going to do another door clip here. I need to...
Yes?
This planet is very, very broken, by the way. In fact, actually, all the planets are really broken from beyond this point. This whole middle section of the run is, without a doubt, my favorite parts. My favorite parts of the run is collecting all the star maps.
Yeah, it used to be that you had to actually go into the Sith base to get to the submersible, but that's not a thing we have to do. Just the application of all these different features, the security view, and the way they all work together means so much stuff is skippable in this game.
I'm about to go down. Man, my luck here has been really rough. Alright, so now it's time for the main reason why we brought the Sith armor with us. It turns out that the Sith are actually very talented engineers. That big old scuba suit that we were wearing is just as good as wearing our Sith armor. So what I did there is I went into returned to Evan Hawk using a fast lane, And then in that module, I can now unequip and re-equip the Sith armor. And because of that, I'm able to do... how's my memory? Okay. Because of that, I can now have this on me whenever I'm out here, which means I don't have to walk super slow, which is fantastic.
Just to clarify, we're completely destroying the laws of physics with this game.
I won't let you open the door for
Yeah,
the
that was-
Water, no problem.
That was treating water like air, and not just water, but like bottom of the ocean, incredibly dense water.
Yeah. And now we're going to just do it again.
There's another skip in this game. We're not doing it any percent, but there's this other skip you do in No Major Skips in all quests where you could skip a spacesuit on a later part of the game, and you just completely destroy the physics of that too. It's hilarious.
Alright, so now what we're supposed to do here is make a very tough ethical decision about what we're going to do with this fraction shark. But instead, we choose to do nothing. That is the smartest decision we can make. Now, I did mess up my split for Dantooine here, so we're gonna hear my gold split, I think, in a second.
Yes!
All right, shoutouts to Indy. Indy has the best pop-offs.
That was a good Manaan.
It was. I was really happy with that. Alright, so now we're going to head to Korriban. We're going to do a lot more funky stuff here. So now, this is whenever you're really going to start noticing save teleports. So, what we're able to do here, and I'll try to avoid doing some of it, is that whenever we save, or we quick save, we're able to get a little bit of a hop forward. And before some of my other guys decide to call me out for saying this is not any faster, I've timed it. It's faster in RTA too. But this will give us a little bit of extra distance while we're moving. So this guy tells us that we can't go in unless we're a Sith, even though I'm wearing Sith armor just like him. I think it's a little discriminatory. So now we're going to head in, we're going to talk to Yathura, and she's going to be like, yeah, you can be a Sith. Because she sees that we're look the part, we're ready to go. We've got the style to be a Sith. They clearly have style. And they've got great engineers. And then as soon as we get in here, we're going to be like, psych. And we're not even going to listen to Uthar talk. And we're just going to head right on out. Okay, and so we also have a memory leak issue here. So the more you quick save, there's little bits of memory that will just cut out. And if you end up using too much, you're going to crash your game. And it'll make a save that you can't even load into.
Yeah, it'll show basically a white screen in the save, and that is awful when that happens. But this run is short enough that it's usually not a problem. It used to be a problem, but not so much anymore.
We're required to do at least 2 save and quits this entire run. So single segment is pretty much not possible unless you're doing glitchless, where glitchless completely bans quick saves because of
they're just
the
too
glitchy
busted
side effects that quick saves have, such as save teleporting.
So now we're going to do another door clip here using our return to Ebon Hawks.
Huh?
Your wish?
Nice, and Juhani went right on in. This actually used to give me a lot of problems whenever, right at the beginning of January, December.
Oh, it's not even possible in glitchless. That's kind of sad,
Good
to
wish.
be honest.
Yes?
Yeah, that is an issue with the engine, not so much
Your
like
wish.
the way the game was programmed. It is straight up
What?
a result of the engine that KOTOR and KOTOR 2 used.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, so the engine of the game is called the Aurora engine. You guys might recognize the Aurora engine if you played games like Jade Empire or Neverwinter Nights or The Witcher 1. And even Tron Legacy even uses the Aurora engine for some reason. And it's a pretty glitchy engine.
That was a pretty good Korriban. I
Yes,
only
it
lost a
was.
second there. So now we're going to do something else that's pretty tricky. So this is a variable manipulation that will be very important for later in the run. This first one's not it. Essentially what we're looking for is we're going to try to force a fighter encounter. And it'll basically let us do... It'll let us skip a lot of stuff on a later level. And I got it.
Nice.
That is so lucky. I've been having such like rough RNG. There's like, I think it's 25%, right? 25% chance of getting one. 30?
Yeah, I think it's about it's about that, yeah.
Whoops.
Around that estimate. I think Lane knows the exact percentage, though. Because he was the one that found the variable manipulation, which is that's exactly what it is. But it's gonna seem like it does nothing, which it's not gonna do anything now, but it will do something later on. But you'll see.
So
But we just have to do it.
So what we're doing here is we went ahead and got a hunter's license, so that way we can head out into the Dune Sea. We're gonna force buffer those guys. And as a side note, you'll probably notice that our save teleports are getting much larger. They're gonna keep getting bigger and bigger as the game goes on until the very end.
No one.
And so now we're going to just run across the Dune Sea. I'm gonna have to do a quit out here again because I've used so much memory. The Dune Sea is actually really long and really far distance, and there's nothing interesting that happens in it because it's a desert. So I don't feel bad about skipping.
I hate sand.
I don't like sand.
It's rough.
It's coarse and
gets everywhere.
rough and irritating.
Whatever the
and it gets
line
everywhere.
is. I don't know. I'm on prequel memes, but I don't get on there enough. I'm not cool. There we go.
If you want to see KOTOR memes, there's an entire Reddit dedicated to it. It's actually really good.
It's awesome. KOTOR memes is amazing.
Yeah, shout out to them. They actually put up a kind of a speedrunning meme the other day. I ended up reposting it into our Discord. Which shout outs to our Discord as well. That is a really poppin' community, which hold up, I just need to focus for a second.
So normally you're supposed to normally you're supposed to
I am going to reload into this area because that's not going to work.
So normally you're supposed to get help with this hunter and get past the Krayt dragon that way, and you can only do this after talking to the sand people so that you can even get out in this area. But he got out in this area anyway, and is just going to go walk right past the Krayt dragon, and it's going to let him be there, and going to let him walk right through its tail.
This is a really crazy skip. This skips a lot of stuff.
Yeah, would you say it's the most precise skip in the run still, or no?
No,
it's pretty free.
Trick. There's a trick later on that's way more difficult than this. This is easy now.
Yeah, the trick that we'll do on Kashyyyk is just ridiculous. So now, this is the one thing that we really wish that we could skip. So this is Leviathan. Now, technically, the game does not require us to actually beat it, which is kind of what we do here due to the variable manipulation.
Yes.
Okay, thank goodness. There's a chance to crash there. So
I've lost so many world record pace runs to just pre-Leviathan crash.
No problem.
yeah.
Got it.
But oops.
Nice.
So we always joke about putting a bounty out for skipping Leviathan because it would save us quite a bit of time.
It would save like 3 minutes if we were to skip this whole thing.
It's now
So-
really
so-
optimized now, so it's not nearly as bad as it used to be when we had a lot of RNG involved. I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, I don't remember if any of these have.
Even if we were to skip Leviathan, sub 40 still wouldn't be possible. At the most, like a 41, or maybe even barely sub 41 would be possible.
No problem. Got it.
Oh, I do have a med pack. Thank goodness. Okay, I wanted one med pack at least, just in case something happened on Kashyyyk. See, our safe teleports keep getting bigger and bigger.
Chaos loves to walk on thin ice with these save teleports because the more you save teleport, the better chance you have at crashing the game.
Well, I keep a close eye on what mine's at. So I watch my memory in my task manager pretty much at all times. I'll look over and peek at it every once in a while.
You see, I just kind of YOLO it because...
See, that sounds way scarier to me.
Got it. What? Yes? Uh-huh.
So, we did another GIP there, and we're going to do another one here. Oops, come on. Okay, whatever. So now we're supposed to have this whole big ol' argument with Saul here and talk about, like, is it fundamentally right? Blah, 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 I don't know. And so we're going to instead just, skip that and
Sure.
run out of here. We got what we needed. Who cares?
Skipping the Saul Kara fight has been a thing ever since I started running the game, but the GIP warp back out saves quite a bit of time.
Yes?
Yeah, it saves like 10 or 15 seconds, just about.
So now, this is one of the hardest parts about the Leviathan, is getting out of this one area. It used to be way worse whenever we had Bastila with us. Ooh.
Game crash. You have an autosave, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it'll load this one,
Yeah.
just in case. Yeah, it did. So I crashed for a different reason.
What? Yeah, this game is not the most stable out there. There are definitely games that crash more frequently than it, but it still will crash for unknown reasons sometime.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's...
By the way, what's my RTA right now?
4219.
Time to rumble.
Okay. Ooh, okay, I gotta put out here. So, Malik's supposed to do this whole big spoiler sequence that we're not gonna talk about, and instead we're just gonna skip it.
Even if you were to continue on with that cutscene, Malik would just freeze, and he wouldn't talk to you because Bastila's not there. He
Well, that's a good
never
point.
actually talks to you.
Shoutouts to being able to open
No
impossible
problem.
locks, because that's
Got it.
necessary here.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh,
good point.
yeah.
I forget about that. I take so much stuff for granted. So now, this is actually the fighter encounter that I skipped earlier,
Incoming
essentially.
fighters.
So that will allow us so instead of like the game breaking because we didn't watch that cutscene, we can now just continue onwards.
If we didn't do that variable manipulation earlier, after you complete this fight and you didn't do it, then the game never actually progresses. It will be stuck in this one fighter encounter forever.
Oh, strudel. I didn't go far enough there. Okay, so now this is actually going to be the most precise trick in the run.
It's not even precise, it's just really difficult to get down.
And that's doing this buying. This buying is very difficult and precise. I'm kidding, of course, but so essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to do a GIP, but we're doing it under pressure. We also have to skip this other conversation that Juhani really wants to do. So we're going to start out by immediately going solo mode, quick save, quick load to make sure that it doesn't happen. And we're going to just save buff. We're going to... oh no.
There is a way to make this trick slightly easier. Basically, I like to quick save and quick load, and because that
All right, that works. That should not have worked, but it worked.
Nice.
That was very spaghetti.
We take those.
That's right.
Because by quick saving and quick loading, you're actually manipulating your party's AI. So if you saw Chaos like quick saving and quick loading quick saving then manually loading, because that's faster than just quick loading.
Please.
Then that's why. And looks like Chaos didn't get a skip called Katarn skip. So basically what Katarn skip does there is it skips the group of Katarns that...
Okay, that's a bit of a time loss there.
Yes?
Probably the hardest trigger to skip over is the Katarn skip, the Katarn trigger.
I swear it was easier for me to do whenever I actually had force speed on going into this area. Juhani's currently in combat.
You want in?
Yeah, we did get the hardest trick in the game down. Now it's just a matter of finishing up Kashyyyk at this point, just getting the star map and then leaving to go to the final areas of the game.
Well,
Skipped another small cutscene there.
Sure.
Okay, alright.
Oh, great.
That's not supposed to happen. This should still work. I just have to...
Billy's in combat.
What is it?
Alright. So, that was not easy there. I gotta just hope that... If that poisoned her, that would have been very rough.
Heal Juhani.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I actually have med packs again. Thank goodness.
What would you do if I wasn't here, Chaos?
Sure.
Still run the game.
So yeah, Jolie wants you to deal with the circuit people who are, corporate types down there, and they have a thing that they want you to do. You can also kind of betray them, and get them to run away. So he just did that whole kind of side quest thing in a really quick way, warping around and doing the stuff kind of all at once. And then Jolie gets in past the barrier and you can go right to the star map.
I actually saved 3 seconds from my PB.
Nice.
almost flubbed that again. Alright, so now we're going to the final planet of the run before we head off to the final level. So now this is essentially where all the star maps pointed us to. And oh, that's lucky.
So there's actually different names for this planet. This planet is known as the unknown region in KOTOR. It's also referred to as the Rakata Prime, but in the Star Wars lore, its accurate name is Lahan. And possibly one of the most interesting planets, in my opinion, in the Star Wars universe.
Your
What?
wish?
So now we're actually going to do a second flu in order to get some really strong abilities. Whoops.
I hope you save the Gizka,
Yeah, I hope I do too.
because if you save the Gizka, we saved all the animals in this run.
So there is going to be some combat coming up again. First time in a long time. So he wants some powerful abilities for that. He's going to get Master Speed for more attacks, as well as Master Critical Strike.
What is it?
He used to do a double lightsaber flurry build, but after some work that
Your
Indy
wish?
did in the KOTOR calculator, figured
Sure.
out you actually get
Yes.
better DPS by using a single-bladed lightsaber and going for crits,
Yes.
generally
Yes.
speaking.
Yep. Unless you're doing all quests and you have way
What is
more
it?
than enough
What?
XP to get a whole bunch of other
Yes.
things. Oops,
Yeah,
I don't
so
want
he
him.
just did another instance of fake level up, and it's just for those abilities.
So we're going to do another return to Ebonhawk here to clip through this door.
What is it?
This saves
What?
1 minute, by the way, from going into the... So basically the intentional way of getting through that door is you have to go into the catacombs of this temple. You have to solve this H puzzle, quote-unquote H in
Oh,
there.
the H
because-
puzzle.
What?
Yeah. And you have to interact with the terminal, run all the way back up, and then the door will be unlocked.
That puzzle is really annoying, like deceptively annoying too. It's a simple thing,
Oh,
but
no.
the movement in this game is not the most precise.
Oh no.
Oh, did we crash?
Yeah, we crashed.
Crap. I think there's an autosave.
Yeah, there's an autosave entering here, so
Yeah, that's not gonna work with you loading that quick save.
I figured I'd try it. You know, it didn't white screen me, so. Oh, now it's Candaris who's in here.
Huh.
Yes?
That seems to happen a lot for whenever I mess these up.
Your wish?
So yeah, there's your example of memory leaking.
Yeah, that one was actually memory leak.
Yeah, it wasn't a random crash.
Huh? What?
Yeah, so essentially the farther you get into the game,
What is it?
Juhani, no, get back down there. Okay,
Yeah?
there we go. All right. The farther you get into the game, the more memory you use, until we get to the last area.
Rep.
And so now, for some reason, Bastla's here again. I don't know why she's wearing these dark robes, and she has a red lightsaber. That doesn't make any sense. But
So you absolutely can bring Bastila to that fight that he skipped to fight Chris.
all right, and you
Fighting
guys say goodbye
duplicates.
to fast lanes. This is the very last fast lane of the run.
Your wish?
Yeah?
All right. So now we've repaired the hyperdrive, we've shut down the force field that's making sure that we can't do anything, and now we're going to go to the Starforge.
The Republic fleet.
Game makes sure to let us know everything's okay. And now we're on to the final level.
And there's a long cutscene there, about 2 minutes, that he just skipped.
Yeah. So we're going to bring Jolie here for a few more gips.
And so what we did there, that cutscene that we skipped, that's a 2-minute long cutscene. So it's very long, and it's really amazing that Lane DeBello found
AMG for just that.
AMG for that, and
What?
And now there's this whole sequence of fights and triggers that he's just kind of skipping through. That one can be a little tricky, but the auto-pathing can fairly reliably get you past those droids. It's just a matter of how long it takes sometimes.
What?
yeah, this Starforge Gips was only discovered like not even 2 or 3 months ago. These Gips and Starforge was discovered by sheet metal, but there's been like pretty small optimizations. Specifically, a very small optimization in Deck 2.
Well, and the optimization with Deck 1 with moving Jolie at the same time.
Yeah, Chaos found that small optimization.
What?
I'm like the king of small optimizations in this run, I swear.
Yes, you are. You find a lot of these small optimizations, and they work. So, Chaos is gonna stand at this little corner there, and it'll teleport him to the other end. There's this very long hallway that all these Sith guards and
there we go.
Sith Jedi go and attack you, and it's really awful because there's a chance where you can get stunned there, /poison, /slow. It's awful, and we're just thankful it's not in the run anymore.
Alright, we're gonna cross our fingers that Jolie plays nice with us.
Boo, you stand at the left corner, not the right corner. Left corner is even... that's a bold, risky move.
Looks like he's fine. Alright. So now, this is, by far, this is actually what used to be considered the final boss. So these 3 Sith here are really, really strong, and because you had to fight them before, all at the same time, it was really difficult. But now, with that little, that open buffer there, they actually, only this one will attack you until you attack the other 2.
So this Sith trio actually used to be dubbed as the final boss, but now it's not anymore because there's been optimizations that have made this fight so much easier.
So now we're going to do the last Gip of the run.
Yes?
I don't know. Alright.
I guess we're
Did you
fighting
see Jolie was stuck inside the wall?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that happen before.
I have never had that happen before either.
Great. What else? What else more can we ask for in this run? Now you have to do the old way.
Yeah, I'm just worried about my stims going down.
Yeah, that's a very big concern. Do you have like a quick save that you can load? No, because Jolie will.
Actually, I do. Now that I think about it, but that's okay. We're gonna go for it. I'm committed.
Yeah, this Malak fight's gonna be rough. Yeah, you have to do the old route now.
Actually, you know what? We're just gonna watch the Green Squadron. I haven't seen this cutscene in a while.
You're not gonna bring Jolie with you?
Jolie should already be coming with, right?
No, he's gone from your party, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Criminy, you're right. That's okay.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you have disabled droids, so...
It's fine.
So yeah, skipping that cutscene there would let you bring multiple party members. And it also allows you to skip a cutscene up here. But that's not the only way to skip it.
Alright, now, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna try something that I haven't tried before. I'm setting up a quick save just to see if it actually works. I've been trying it in like, my practice saves and it works.
So,
But...
this fight is actually, in any perspective...
Oh, fantastic. Oh, we can save some dialogue, boys.
So, you're actually supposed to have party members here because it makes this fight faster. But, yeah, some things happen, so... But let's not dwell on that. This is the final boss.
Yeah. I think now might be a good time to just go ahead and do shoutouts and everything, because we're closing in on the end of the run.
Yeah.
So, if you want to watch my stream, I'm Twitch TV ChaosDrifter. And I think you're just Twitch.tv 30 cents, right?
Yes. Look at that. Chaos is plugging in his own stream.
I know. What a
The
streamer.
Sellout.
That's right.
And I'm Allocate37. You'll also see me doing Mass Effect tomorrow night in this event. So
That's gonna be awesome.
I'm actually in the middle of learning Mass Effect. So, if I have time, I will watch that run.
And there are also a lot of other KOTOR runners who have been showing up. So, Joel, goes in here.
Lane.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So he just actually wiped me of all my force powers there.
He might not be active now because IRL stuff, but Will M.I. is an all-quest runner of this game, and he's really good. He holds the world record for all quests. There's also sheet metal, and there's also Glassnock, obviously. There's Sober.
Man, now it's just really wanting to hold this out. Time.
Nice, GG.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Well, that wasn't bad. That Malak fight wasn't bad at all, considering the
flub with
the little thing with Jolie. But yeah.
Yeah, the Discord is really popular. It essentially, that's where we do almost all of our talking about the game and all the strats and everything. And you can find the link to that. It's a permanent link on
What happened?
speedruns.com, SRC. So if you just go there, there's a bunch of resources for the game. If you want to learn how to play the game, we're always welcome to teaching any kind of new runner, and we'll be more than happy to help. So we're gonna.
Yeah, everyone is so helpful there. Without that Discord, I don't think I probably would have learned this game. It's awesome.
I forgot to AMG here. Oh well.
Everyone pull back. I don't want to lose
Yeah,
any
you can
ships
do
when
some
that space
silly
station
things
goes
like
down.
have
We
the
did
main
it,
character
Vandar.
go
The
up
Sith are
and,
routed,
like,
and the
be in
Star
this
Forge
cutscene.
destroyed.
Yeah.
But at what cost, Admiral?
Where
Where
is the Ebon Hawk
Hawk
and her crew?
So that you could play in the credits. If you want to show that anyway.
Oh, Okay, we're not gonna
Yeah,
watch that. So yeah, I had to quit that a little earlier than I wanted to there, just because I always forget how to set it up. But that was KOTOR. So thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck with the rest of the marathon and all the other runners. Oh, and before I forget, 30 Cents will be running KOTOR 2 during RPG Limit Break. So if you really are interested in seeing KOTOR 2 played and broken really hard as well, they actually have a dev character that's in that. So you can...
Except I'm not going to be using dev character.
Oh, that's right. You're not doing the dev character. He'll probably explain it during the run. But go watch him during RPG Limit Break. That's a really cool run as well.
Thanks, dude.
All right. I think I'm all good to go.